My name is Joshua De Castro from BSTM 2-2, and I agree in participation in ecotourism planning and development.
I am Ira Eliza Abrenica, an anti-participant on ecotourism planning and development.
Participation in ecotourism planning and development allows local community to engage decision making. When the community participate in ecotourism planning and development, they be more aware and gain knowledge and skill through experience. They can use this in the future to avoid possible future problems. They be educated and questions in their mind like the hows and whats will finally get the answers.
It risks spoiling a region's ecosystem. Too many people will be allowed to explore a particular ecosystem and might disturb the organisms that are living there. In some cases, habitats could be overly loved, which means that tourists might unsustainably harvest things for souvenirs, trample on plants and compact soil, which can be bad for certain areas.
Community participation in ecotourism planning and development serves as conservation and developmental tool. In the area of forest conservation and management, community involvement or participation in ecotourism development has become a viable tool aside traditional methods such as law enforcement, control of timber extraction, and preservation of endangered species. Through the involvement of host communities, tourism can generate support for conservation among such communities as long as they derive some benefits.
An increase in the number of tourists can hamper the freedom of cultural expression within the natives, making some of them feel threatened. Also, most of the natives are largely seen as prop tour guides, making them feel objectified, in addition to encouraging stereotypes. Also, a continuous interaction between the locals and the tourists may cause a gradual shift in culture.
Next is community participation in ecotourism planning and development will maximize the socioeconomic benefits of ecotourism for community. The community participation in decision making is desirable and necessary because it will boost the socioeconomic benefits of ecotourism for community. If there is a high level of community participation in the project, the communities have maximized socio-economic benefits from the project.
Ecotourism's main aim is to preserve the environment, but unfortunately, it is often a challenge in itself. Ecotourism takes tourists to new places, and in some cases, ecosystems that are relatively untouched by humans. The interaction between the new environment and the tourist could disrupt it. For instance, the humans could scare of prey, disrupting a predator's hunting patterns. It could also result in a higher demand for resources such as food and water, stressing the environment to accommodate more people. Increased foot traffic, according to USA Today, has also been associated with the possibility of damage to plant life and soil quality.
Community participation helps tourism professionals design better tourism plans. Since the local people is living there for a long time, they are knowledgeable about the features and characteristics and more familiar of the destination. They could surely help tourism professionals in designing better tourism plans. In this case, they are also involved in decision making. They can give some information or tips on what is way more better to do. They can also give about the behavior of the community since the community in the area is also a factor to be considered in tourism plans.
Highly visited ecotourism destinations will more likely see development and encroachment in and around the region, which can lead to habitat fragmentation, and destruction, leading to loss of species that depend on their natural habitats. New structures, pollution, noise, and other activities can lead to wildlife disturbances.
Developing an ecotourism area will generate job. Employment rate in the community will increase. An example of this is developing ecotourism site will require manpower. It means there is a need for a labor. The community will be the first one to directly benefit from this since they are the closest one in the area. Developing an ecotourism site involves building bridge construction of roads and renovating from infrastructures.
Ecotourism is growing each year, meaning there are more firms and organizations each year joining the ecotourism bandwagon in the name of promoting sustainable tourism. Some of these organizations are only prioritizing on making profits over preserving the ecosystems they tour. Some have become negligent to the adherence of the eco-friendly policies, enticing more tourists to spend money on the organization's services rather than on the tourist attraction site.
In conclusion, is community participation in ecotourism planning and development has a lot of benefits not just in community but in also in planners and developers, and I strongly believe the community participation is essential in achieving sustainability.
I extremely disagree with the participation on ecotourism planning and development despite having benefits because we humans should always know that natural resources are destroyed to make souvenirs. Destructions of natural features, overused tracks lead to soil erosion and damage to vegetation. That is a real danger that we can get when people disrupted everything on our ecotourism before, during, or after that participation.
That's
That's
all.
all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.